So, this is day 7. I'm a week into my freedom and visibility challenge. I am sitting at home where I am shooting a lot of my videos. It's raining outside. I can hear the rain coming down. And that for me, the fact that it's literally raining right now, and rain is actually something that helps to soothe my nervous system. As I'm about to talk about kind of like where I am in this challenge, in my freedom journey, is huge for me. I don't think it's coincidental. Okay. Um, but yeah, so if you are expecting a huge life-changing update in this video, sis, you ain't gonna get it because this is day 7. We may get to day 90 and you still may not get a huge life-changing update. But what I'm here to do is to kind of like document what's going on with me in real time as I move forward in my visibility and freedom journey. The visibility part is because I have held myself back for so long, being afraid to shine, to show up, to be seen, to be viewed, to be, talked about, to have bad things said about me. So as an introvert, and plus I'm an introvert, so it's very easy for me to go into my shell like a Ninja Turtle. And you may see me once every 6 months. That is so easy for me. Okay. And then the freedom part is because since my 20s, I knew that I was just not about this traditional way of living. I didn't have like the language for it, but I knew like it just didn't resonate with me, especially not like a whole 9 to 5 thing and working until you're 115 just to be able to retire and die at 116.2. Like it's just not for me. And like the laboring and killing yourself, I hate that this is how things are structured and set up for the average person, especially for Black women. Okay. Especially for Black women, because that's really all I really care about. Black women. Anyway, so here we are, day 7. And let me talk about my freedom journey really quickly. So I cannot remember if I said this or not. So if this is old story, my bad. But I was working since maybe February of this year, 2026, at a retailer part time. Well, it was full and part time because they would play around with your hours. And basically, I was getting a check, but I was just I was just a number. I was just a number, you know. And very long story short, a few weeks ago, it's been a few weeks now. I ended up sending a resignation email. I sent a resignation email to like the manager and HR, or I sent it to HR and CC my manager or whatever. And I was basically saying, because I have gotten hurt again, because I kept getting hurt. This is a very labor intensive job for me, at least for me in my 50s. A lot of walking, standing, reaching, grabbing, pulling, lifting, bending, stooping, picking up, putting down, climbing. Like I wasn't built for that, for no minimum wage job. Okay. And I wasn't built for that period. But anyway, sent an email to them and said, I've hurt myself again. I cannot do this anymore. So effective today, this is like I'm out. That's literally in a professional way. That's what I said. But what happened was the HR person a few weeks ago, she responded to my message a few days later and she was like, come in, let's talk about it. Okay, sure. Because one of the things for me is I'm really a part of self integrity or integrity for me is communicating, like being a grown woman and communicating. Because that's something that for a very long time I had a problem with. I would feel afraid to communicate because in my mind, communication means it equals really negative, harmful, toxic consequences. Even to communicate for me, it would feel like I was in physical danger. I'm serious. I don't know if anybody else out there has ever felt that way or feels that way or understands where I'm coming from, but to communicate in a healthy way, to me, it feels like violence. Or like something bad will happen to me if I communicate, you know, if I communicate in a grown way or healthy way. Anyway, getting off track. But she said, come in, or she asked if I can come in. Let's just talk about it and see what's going on. Sure. Let me be woman enough and have that conversation, you know? And so I went in on like a Monday or a Tuesday or something like that. And she said, what's going on? And I told her basically what I'm telling you, on this video. And she said, something like, well, what do you need? In other words, like, what do you need in order to stay? And so she said, maybe less time or something. And I thought about it and I was like, sure, if you can, like, 3 days a week, 24 hours a week, 24 hours over 3 days, that's all I can do. That's it. Because what I needed for my body and my mental health was to have like 2 days off is not enough for me. 2 days off is not enough for my body to recover, for me to mentally just um decompress. That's what I needed. That's what I needed. And so I was like, I can do 3 days, 24 hours a week. None of this like spreading out the 24 hours. Okay, you work 3 hours today, 6 hours tomorrow, 4 hours the next day, 1 hour. Like I'm not doing that. And she said, yeah, we can do that. And then I said, okay, well, let's see how that goes. In other words, I'm going to try it. I said that let's try it. Let's see how it goes. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was going to do because that way I knew that I would have at least some income coming in as I continue forward on my freedom journey. Okay. She said, yes, give me a few days. I'll get back to you. So I wish I had the dates in front of me, but let's just say that was 3 weeks ago on a Monday. And she said, give me a few days. I will take care of it. Great. So that was a Monday, 3 weeks ago, at least. And Tuesday came, Tuesday left. Wednesday came, Wednesday left. Thursday came, Thursday left. On and on and on. Now we're looking at, I think it was Monday. Now we're back to the next Monday. And I know that with this organization, everything is slow. So I kind of was like, this tracks. This tracks. And so I was like, okay, if I don't hear anything by this evening, Tuesday morning, send a message. Tuesday morning came, didn't get anything, send an email. And actually, let me backtrack because what I asked her when I was there talking face to face was, what do I need to do right now? Again, because I'm trying to, hey, I'm a grown woman. You know what I'm saying? Give me clear what's what. So I said, what do I need to do right now to facilitate this or during the interim? What do I need to do? Because the schedule was already out, but am I coming? What do I need to do? What do I need to do right now? You don't need to do anything. I'm going to take care of it for you. I'm going to take care of it all for you. Great. So again, a week has now gone by. Now it's Tuesday, a full week and a day. I send a follow-up message. Hey, so and so, just wanted to circle back or check in. And I said somewhere in there, because as you mentioned, you'll take care of it. And for me not to do anything, like basically I was just reiterating her or regurgitating her words. And I said something like, let me know what's going on or what do I need to, whatever. Like, in other words, just covering my ass and just following up, like, what the hell's going on, basically, but in a polite way, but basically saying this is what you said and what we agreed to. So what's going on? So that was Tuesday. And then on Thursday, I tried to log into the work to the portal, and I was locked out. Like the admin has deleted your account or whatever it said, something like that, deleted or whatever. I wasn't in there no more. So I called immediately Thursday morning. Okay, mind you, it has now been over a week and a half. She picked up. We had a quick conversation, and I told her what was going on. And she said, oh, I was out sick for the last couple of days. But what about the week before the last couple of days? But okay, hey, give me 2 days. I will get this taken care of. Okay, great. And then Friday came, and Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday, and Tuesday. And you can see where this is going, right? I have not heard anything from these people in probably like 3 weeks. Not a word, not a nair, not a nothing. Okay. Now, on the Brown Girl Self Care podcast, on one of the episodes that I cannot recall right now, I had talked about how I was literally fighting to you know what I'm saying, to even though I knew like this was not the place I wanted to be because just based on so many things, but I was in it for the check just in the interim as I figured things out. Uh, but in my mind, I already had a date. Like by this date, I want to quit anyway. So it's like, why? Because I was doing specific things that when I thought about it, I was like, why am I fighting to keep this job? This was before this whole thing went down. That I talked about this in another episode on the Brown Girl Self Care podcast. And so now here I am. It's been like, what, about 3 weeks now. And I'm not going to fight for this because I am worth more than this. I'm not about this retail life. So here we are now, 7 days on this like YouTube journey that you and I are taking over the next 90 days. And I am jobless. I'm jobless. Okay. But I feel free. And I know that doesn't make sense because, baby, bills is due. We know the money needs to money. But as far as how I feel like right now in this moment on day 7, I feel free. I am starting to get back into my routines and my habits, the things that help me to feel whole and good and healthy and human. Okay. I'm stretching again, moving my body again, and not for the sake of doing work, is what I mean. Okay. I am feeling more rested now. I may not look like it, but I am starting to feel more rested. You know, I have to give my body time to recover. I did that job for several months and I was drained. And that did not feel like freedom to me. That did not feel like wholeness to me. I didn't feel good doing that. So, though some things are up in the air as far as, just my life in general, when I think about where I am today on day 7, and the goals also that I have, which include being a full-time content creator and earning a fabulous freaking salary or income from that. Yes. Again, like I said a couple of days ago, maybe I'm being delusional, but that's what future me. She's already done it. She is earning a amazing amount of money to be herself and to show up and to talk about the things we talk about and to honor the humanity of Black women and to explore this whole idea of freedom and liberation through, for me, it's through what we've been talking about here. Okay. Yours may look a little different, but ultimately freedom, baby, is freedom. We ain't got to take the same path to get to the freedom. Okay. But when I think about where I am right now, though things are up in the air, again, I still, like, I didn't expect that by day 7 or even day 14 or by the end of this, that my life will be perfect and I would have all the answers and I could come to you and sell you this pipe dream. Like, I'm not here to sell you anything as far as like this vision of perfection. That's not my jam. That's not my vibe. That's not who I am. I think I'm more so the raw and gritty and the real, that's just all I know how to be. But yeah, again, here we are with day 7. Now, as far as visibility is concerned, baby, let me tell you, the biggest thing that I've learned, other than, just being able to show up and have the courage to do so and all that, is that for me, the way that I operate, I thought that I would be able to shoot a video every single day. And let me tell you, no, I cannot. Because life is going to life. If you have this vision of yourself being a content creator, a full-time content creator, whatever your medium and all that, you got to give yourself room, to batch so that you're not doing this necessarily every single day, because something is going to pop up. Something's going to happen. In fact, it did a couple of days ago. One of my neighbors reached out, and long story short, she may need me to like do something for her dog because she's been sick and in and out of the hospital, blah, blah, blah. That day I couldn't even record because my day just didn't even go according to plan. But luckily I had already batched. Like this video that you're watching now, probably trying to do quick math, but it's probably been recorded 3 or 4 days ago, I would guess, somewhere in there. Um, so I'm trying to do like 2 videos a day. So that way I can have a bank of videos already scheduled, and then I can start incorporating some days where I don't do absolutely anything, because that for me is freedom. Doing absolutely nothing business related is freedom. I don't want to check an email. I don't want to respond to a message. I don't want to look at record a video. I don't want to record a podcast episode. I don't want to have to upload videos. I don't want to schedule nothing. I don't want to do any of that. I am doing these kind of things now because I want to build freedom into my life. Sometimes you got to do some things on the front end so that you can live the life that you want on the back end. That's where I am. But as far as visibility, what is helping me to stay visible is the batching. So you may notice in videos that I'm wearing the same shirt over the course of 2 or maybe even 3 days if I'm feeling the energy to make 3 videos in one day. But minimum, I'm trying to do 2. Sometimes I may change my shirt, sometimes not. And sometimes I'm only recording 1. It really just depends. But today I recorded 2. If you go back and watch yesterday's, it's the same day for me. But you get in the video on the next day. Okay. But I'm still being visible. I'm still showing up every day. I want to do this for 90 days, and I'm going to do everything in my power to be successful at that. Because that for me is a huge part of being in integrity with myself, and also starting to activate the woman that I already am in the future. And also live the type of life that I want. I know that things will open for me, or have already opened for me in the future, but things will open up for me as I continue to show up and do the work that I have been called to do, which is this, in this way. So again, that's my update for day 7. I do intend on making an update for day 14. And then for like the 4-week mark, what did I have planned out? 7 days, 14, or 1 week, 2 weeks. I think I had 4 weeks, possibly 2 months, and then 3 months. I think that's what I had written down. So there should be 5 kind of like update-ish videos at the 1 week mark, the 2 week mark, the 4-week mark, the 8-week mark, and the 12-week mark, something like that. Okay. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on this video. If you haven't subscribed already, feel free to do so. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts, where you are in your freedom journey, what you thought about this video, etc., etc. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, thank you for being with me on this journey as I kind of like still figure things out. You know, there's so much for me to figure out here, and I'm going to do that in real time with you over the course of the next 90 days. But yeah, day 7 in the books, baby. I will see you on the next video. Bye.